Here we're going to tie a fly called the CDC Comparadun. I'm going to start my thread. I'm going to leave the tag end of the thread nice and long. I'm going to leave it hanging off the back of the hook, right on top of the shank of the hook. Now I'm going to take two Mayfly tails, also known as microfibettes. I'm going to tie these in on top of the shank of the hook as well. I want these to be about the length of the shank. Tie those right on top. Now what we're going to do is draw those up. I'm going to split them with my thread. It's probably the trickier part of the fly, is getting them split. There we go. Just take my thread and split them. And I take my thread forward, trim out the excess. Now I'm just going to build up a slight taper to this body by wrapping back once more. Nice and even wraps. Here we go. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take two natural colored CDC feathers. We're going to match them up so the tips are nice and even. And this will be our wing. We want our wing to be roughly the length of the shank of the hook. So I just kind of roughly measured it out. We're going to secure those feathers. We're going to trim them as close as we can at the back here. We're going to clean that up a little bit. Now we're going to lift up those CDC. We're going to wrap some wraps right in front. We're going to build a little wedge dam. We're not going to parachute style this. We're just going to wrap the wedge right in front of it. Just like so. I'm going to take those feathers and pull them to the sides just a little bit. That way they fan out. Now the last thing to do is to dub a nice sparse thorax. For that we're going to use a little bit of very light brown dubbing, some superfine dubbing. Be careful not to use too much. We're just going to coat the thread. Try not to capture any of these fibers either. Just kind of brush them out of the way as I wrap my dubbing. This dubbing will also help keep the profile of the Comparadun. And once you get to the head, you can quickly whip finish. And this color we just tied is an olive colored Comparadun. It's great for a blue-winged olive or a baetis. Can tie these for larger drakes too. You just tie them in the according size. And that's all there is to the Comparadun. Give you a front view here. You can see how it has that half moon shape there. That's the key to this fly. It sits flush to the water. That's all there is to the CDC Comparadun.